Hey guys, what is up? Flashback Sports here, back in their video. Today, I'm bringing you guys my thoughts on the Kyrie Irving trade. I'm going to review this trade, tell you guys who I think won and some opinions on this, reviewing the trade, whatever else comes to mind while I'm doing this. But anyway, I know this is a little late, but I just started this channel today, actually, as you guys are watching this, or maybe I'll upload this a little bit later, but I just started the channel. So I'm sorry about being a little bit late on this, but it just has to be. But anyway, the trade itself is Kyrie Irving going to the Boston Celtics. In return, the Cavaliers get Isaiah Thomas, the Brooklyn Nets, a first-round pick, unprotected, that is. They also get Ante Zizic, Jay Crowder, and a Boston Celtics 2020 second-round pick, unprotected. So that's 5 things going to the Celtics, or from the Celtics to the Cavaliers, and that's 1 thing going to Boston. So who do I think won this trade? I think that the Cavaliers won this trade. I thought they won this trade before they even got that extra pick because originally the trade was without the second-round pick. But then Cleveland, I guess, Isaiah Thomas was hurt more than they thought he was. So then they wanted more. Or it was just a strategy all along to get more from them. Either way, they got the extra second-round pick. And I thought they won this trade before then. So now that they add that second-round pick, I think that this is a better trade for the Cavaliers. And this is the absolute best trade they could have got for Kyrie Irving, considering he was forced into the trade him, basically. And I do think Cleveland gets closer to the Warriors after this trade. So basically, the Boston Celtics traded away Isaiah Thomas, who averaged almost 29 points. It was 28.9 points last year. And Kyrie Irving averaged, I think it was 25.2, or it was somewhere around there. So Isaiah Thomas scores more points per game. No, as we know, Isaiah Thomas is older than Kyrie Irving, so Kyrie is going to get a little bit better as he gets older. He's only like 25, I think. I think Isaiah is like, 28, 29. So he obviously is a younger player, so he'll be getting better. And also, something that's pretty big is that Isaiah Thomas is only 5'9", and Kyrie Irving, I think, is 6'2". So he's definitely taller, though. You can't really say, like, people will say that Isaiah Thomas is a defensive liability, which he kind of is, but so is Kyrie Irving because he never plays defense. Now, granted, he can play some defense if he wants to, but he really never chooses to. But either way, I do think Kyrie Irving is the better player to have between them two. But then the Cleveland Cavaliers also get Jay Crowder, which is great on defense and will help them out a lot because that's something they were struggling with. They also get Ante Zizic, which is something no one really talks about. He's young, but nobody knows if he's going to be good or not. He's just kind of a he's just kind of there. No one talks about it, but I think he can be alright, but he's not going to impact them right now, which is why it's not as important. They also get the Brooklyn Nets first-round pick next year, and we know the Brooklyn Nets are not good, so that could be a first overall pick, that could be a top 3 pick, a top 5 pick. Either way, it's likely going to be a really good pick for the Cavaliers. They also get the Celtics 2020 pick, which it is a pick, but it's, 3 years ahead, and it's, it's not really that important, but it does help out Cleveland. What do I think about Boston? Boston got Kyrie Irving to, group up with Gordon Hayward and all the players they already have, like Al Horford, all those young players on their team. So Boston's looking really nice now. I think it was a good trade for both teams. I do think Boston got better as well, because, the picks aren't going to help them right now. Though, the one thing I want to talk about is I think that this could make LeBron James want to stay in Cleveland instead of going to LA or any other team out there for 2 reasons. The first reason is, obviously, they got Isaiah Thomas, which is basically, like Kyrie and Isaiah Thomas, the gap isn't that big for who's better. So it's basically like the same kind of player as well, ISO scorer, doesn't play much defense. So it's not really much difference there, but they also get Jay Crowder. They get Ante Zizic, which could be, he could be great, he could be terrible, no one knows. But also, they get the Brooklyn Nets first-round pick, which could be a, number 1 overall pick to get some great players in the draft, and also get that second-round pick. So, I think the Cleveland gets better, and that's one reason I think LeBron would stay. But there's a second reason. He might feel some type of way about Kyrie Irving. And the fact that Kyrie stayed with Boston, the only other team in the East that has a chance to, go anywhere, LeBron might just want to make sure Kyrie never makes it to another finals. He might, feel some type of way and just want to, stay there and guarantee that as long as LeBron's playing there, that Kyrie doesn't make it to the finals. And if that happens, I think that would be a good decision for LeBron in a way, because unless a lot of stuff happens in LA, unless Paul George goes there, obviously Lonzo Ball has to become good on the team, and some other pieces on there have to happen, fit together perfectly for LA to be better than Cleveland, but they now have a first-round pick, which is likely a top 5, top 3, maybe even number 1 overall pick from the Nets. So they'll have a young, good player to, help the team go. They also have Isaiah Thomas. They still have Kevin Love. They still have, the good players there. And so if he stayed there, he could get, walk right into the finals for the next 5 years, I'd say. But if he goes to LA, he might lose beforehand if he faces, the Warriors before then, in case, unless someone knocks him out or they get better than the Warriors. But I don't see that happening. I think the best place for LeBron to stay is Cleveland. Now, obviously, I'm wearing a Cleveland hat, so if you guys think I'm biased, I don't know. I'm not living in a city that really has a basketball team around here. The only reason I like, the only reason I like Cleveland is because LeBron's there. I'm kind of just following around LeBron because that's my favorite player. I kind of like Cleveland, but it's the closest one to where I live. But I'm not really that into a city. I'm not really that into a team just because Cleveland's not really that great of a franchise. If LeBron wasn't there, who would even want to play in Cleveland? No one really would. But anyway, those are my thoughts on this. I'm sorry, it wasn't really scripted or anything. I just, went through like a loose cannon and everything out of order. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. I wrote down kind of notes here, but I didn't really look at them, as if you could tell. Oh yeah, Isaiah Thomas's injury. They're saying he should return to great form, the Isaiah Thomas that we know, but it will be later in the season, so he might not be able to play until mid-season, maybe even all the way to the playoffs, but he will be back this season. But his contract's up this season, so if LeBron stays, I see Isaiah Thomas getting re-signed as well. But if LeBron leaves, I see Isaiah leaving as well. So those are my thoughts on this trade. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Who you think won? I think Cleveland won, but both teams got better. This is a good trade for both teams, even with the second-round pick, because it doesn't really affect Boston, not Cleveland as much, but it's still a second-round pick. It's still an extra pick in the draft. So, Isaiah Thomas was a second-round pick. Jay Crowder was a second-round pick. So it's not like you can, never get a good player in the second round. It's just Cleveland's drafting isn't the best. If you look back at their, the only good drafts they have is Kyrie Irving, the consensus number 1 overall pick. LeBron James, consensus number 1 overall pick. They're not great at getting sleepers, but regardless, those are my thoughts. So let me know what you think, and thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos just like this. And yeah, I'll see all you guys later. Peace.